Chapter 41, Visions of Heaven and Earth shake the Academy, and people from the Tang clan come. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Call out. The god-killing bone arrow shot through the air. Su Chen's intention was very simple. He wanted to use the god-killing bone arrow to take the last half-step. This half-step is more difficult than reaching the sky, regardless of whether you believe it or not. Even with the help of the burial tribulation pen, you can't cross the last half-step. You can only use the god-killing bone bow. The extremely domineering god-killing bone arrow directly penetrated the lightning shield in front of him. Taking advantage of the gap, Su Chen finally took half a step across. When both feet stand firmly on the 99th step, there was no longer any thunder and roaring around, and the roar of heavenly calamity was as quiet as if King Yama was reporting for duty. All the pressure on his body disappeared instantly. Su Chen looked at the 99th step and realized that he finally succeeded. Right now, between heaven and earth, an extremely terrifying airflow suddenly appeared, directly covering the entire heavenly tribulation ladder, causing the entire heavenly tribulation valley to tremble crazily, like an earthquake. The end of the world has come, and it has spread from the heavenly tribulation valley to the entire Donghuang College. All the teachers and students came out one after another and looked in the direction of the heavenly tribulation valley, wondering what happened. The second, third, fourth, until the 99th terrifying airflow arrived, floating above Su Chen's head. At the top of the sky, thunder roared and turned into countless rolling thunders, shaking the surroundings. Even Donghuang College was among them. A strange phenomenon appeared in the heavenly tribulation valley. This was something that had never happened in Donghuang Academy for thousands of years. Lan Shang's figure instantly appeared outside the heavenly tribulation valley. Seeing what happened in front of him, he was shocked and immediately ordered all the students in the heavenly tribulation valley to be expelled and sealed off. No one was allowed to step foot inside. Ji Yoshi, who was practicing, had no idea what was going on, so he was directly expelled from the heavenly tribulation valley by the vice dean. Boom. Lan Shang's eyes are filled with feeling shocked and unbelievable. He let Su Chen climb the ladder of heavenly calamity with only a glimmer of hope. After all, in the past 10,000 years, only the first dean of Donghuang College had set foot on the top of the ladder of heavenly calamity. Su Chen was second person. Rumor has it that those who can climb the heavenly tribulation stairway must be extremely talented. Even the heavens will be jealous of them, and they will definitely reach the imperial realm. The appearance of such a monster in Donghuang College is definitely a blessing to the college. Su Chen, you are better than your father. At this moment, on the 99th step, Su Chen was a little surprised when he felt the vision of heaven and earth covering his whole body. He did not expect that climbing the 99th step would trigger such a terrifying vision. The 100-foot-long chaotic golden body condensed behind him exuded a dazzling light. It was with the help of this vision of heaven and earth that Su Chen's cultivation instantly broke through the 9th level of virtual elixir realm, and advanced to the peak virtual elixir realm, and the virtual elixir in his body begins to solidify. He broke through to the real elixir realm and made great progress all the way, directly crossing 3 levels, breaking through from the 1st level real elixir realm to the 4th level real elixir realm. The vision of heaven and earth lasted for a full minute, then slowly began to disappear, and finally disappeared. It can actually cause strange phenomena in the heaven and earth. Yes, yes. Who? Turning around and looking at the old man who didn't know when he appeared, Su Chen was shocked. If the old man had made a sneak attack just now, he would have turned into a corpse now. The old man was wearing gray-black clothes, his hair was like inverted spikes, but his old face had a pair of piercing eyes, which seemed to be able to see through everything in the world. Old man Yan Kongji, I wonder what you call me, little friend. Su Chen has met senior. Looking at the expression on Su Chen's face, Yan Kongji smiled and said, it seems that Su Xiaoyu has guessed my identity. Yes, I am the first dean of Donghuang College when he founded it. His heart was shocked. Although he had already guessed the old man's identity, Su Chen couldn't help being shocked when the old man actually said it. According to Dean Lan, in the past 10,000 years, only the first dean has stepped onto the 99th step. Apart from himself, the fact that this person can stand here already shows his identity. The old man and the young man chatted a lot, and the sky turned dark. Yan Kongji stretched hard and said sadly, I have to obey you. I am a little tired, so Su Xiaoyu will return to the academy. If anything happens in the future, you can come directly to see me. Thank you, senior. A jade slip appeared in Yun Kongji's hand, and he said with a smile, I don't have any treasures on me, so I can only teach you this secret technique. I hope it can intimidate the mainland in your hands. When Su Chen took the jade slip, he found that Yun Kongji's figure had disappeared. He shook his head helplessly. Even Su Chen had never thought that he would meet a person from 10,000 years ago here. What kind of cultivation is this to be able to live for such a long time? It seems that the strength of this old dean is unfathomable. Without staying any longer, Su Chen immediately left the heavenly tribulation ladder. Return to your residence. Su Chen took out the jade slip, and his soul instantly poured into the jade slip, and a stream of information continued to pour into his mind. Soul capturing technique. Feeling the tyranny of this martial arts, Su Chen was very sad. The terrifying thing about the soul-trapping technique is that it can imprison any soul and even refine soul slaves. Very powerful soul martial arts. The information of practicing soul-trapping technique is imprinted in my mind. Su Chen immediately destroyed the jade slips. Su Chen liked this secret skill very much and started practicing it immediately. Regarding the phenomenon of heaven and earth appearing in the heavenly tribulation valley during the day, the college blocked any news. Even if Su Chen left the heavenly tribulation valley, no one knew about it. Everything was blocked by Dean Lan Shang. He didn't want anything to happen to Su Chen. The next day, the dawn of the next day broke through the dark fog and enveloped the entire eastern wasteland. Donghuang College welcomed dozens of uninvited guests, who were led by Vice Dean Qin Zhu to the college hall, which is a place specially designed to receive outsiders. Because of the special identity of the visitor, even Dean Lan Shang, who never liked to show his face, came forward in person. In the hall, Qin Zhu's face was very gloomy. As the deputy dean of the college and the one with the most affairs, he valued Su Chen very much. Brother Lan, after Tang Hao's blood wheel was destroyed and he was sent back to the Tang clan, Tang Xiaotian came in person. How should we respond? Tang clan, one of the top races in the eastern wilderness, my son's blood chakra was destroyed at Donghuang College, and I came to visit him. This is really a normal thing. Lan Shang also felt helpless. Su Chen was too cruel. He knew Tang Hao's identity and wanted to destroy Tang Hao's blood wheel. Just wait and see what happens. The words just fell. A middle-aged burly man, who looked somewhat similar to Tang Hao, with well-developed muscles and a resolute face full of anger, walked in with dozens of people. It was none other than the Tang clan. The man is also Tang Xiaotian, the patriarch of the Tang clan, the father of Tang Hao, and a strong man in the Juding realm. In the eastern wasteland, Juding realm is already a top-level existence. The Juding realm is an existence above the condensing spirit realm, martial arts innate realm, foundation building realm, golden elixir realm, yuanying realm, soul palace realm, concentration realm and gathering cauldron realm. Chapter 42, He is a bitch himself and cannot blame me. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Dean Lan, I haven't seen you in 5 years. I hope you are well. Lan Shang smiled and said, the Tang clan leader rarely comes to our Donghuang Academy, and I am too lazy to move around. Tang Xiaotian entered the hall and sat down directly on the left, but his face was frighteningly gloomy. Holding his fists towards Dean Lan, Tang Xiaotian said straight to the point, Dean Lan, my son is practicing in Donghuang College. I don't want to do it, but he insists on doing it. In addition, Donghuang College's status in Donghuang College, so I don't want to do it. Prevent. Your college has always been known as the #1 college in the Eastern Wasteland, but I never thought that my son would have his blood will destroyed in the college. I don't know how Dean Lan would explain this. Here comes the topic, Qin Zhu said, Chief Tang, you don't know something. Tang Hao and Tang Hao have signed a life-and-death contract and are engaged in a life-and-death battle. Not even the academy can stop this. This was also the thing that made Tang Xiaotian feel the most angry. If there was no life-and-death pact, he could confidently ask for an explanation, but the current situation was very troublesome. As Qin Zhu said, no one could stop the life-and-death pact between warriors. I want to meet this Su Chen, is that okay? Don't wait for Qin Zhu to speak. Lan Shang nodded and said, Vice President Qin, go find Su Chen. Yes. With a deep sigh in his heart, Qin Zhu knew very well how much trouble he would cause by offending the Tang clan. It didn't matter to Donghuang Academy, the biggest trouble was Su Chen. In the dormitory courtyard, Su Chen, who had been practicing the soul-capturing technique, heard a knock on the door and stood up to open the door. Who are you? I am Qin Zhu, the deputy dean of the college. The dean wants to see you for something, so come with me. The vice dean comes to find him personally. It seems that there is something fishy about this matter. Without asking any further questions, Su Chen followed Qin Zhu out of the dormitory and walked toward the hall. For the matter between you and Tang Hao, Tang Xiaotian, the leader of the Tang clan, came to investigate in person. You can rest assured that the academy will not hand you over, but you must also be prepared. The Tang clan is very powerful. Once you leave the academy, I believe Tang the clan will definitely take action against you. Yes. Su Chen was not surprised at all. Sooner or later, the Tang clan would know about the matter of him destroying Tang Hao's blood wheel. If it weren't for the intimidation of the academy, I believe the Tang clan would attack him directly without making any unnecessary moves. There is always a solution to a problem, without any fear. So what if they are from the Tang clan, one Su and one Tang? Hall. Qin Zhu led Su Chen into the hall. As the saying goes, enemies are extremely jealous when they meet, but just as Su Chen entered, a concentration realm warrior behind Tang Xiaotian came directly towards him. Su Chen came with a fierce bombardment. Qin Zhu was trapped by another person in the concentration realm. Tang Xiaotian's intention was very simple. Before Lan Shang could react, he would directly kill Su Chen and avenge his son. As long as Su Chen is killed, Donghuang College will be angry. Facing the Tang clan, is it possible to start a life-or-death war with the Tang clan over a student? It's definitely not realistic. Presumptuous. Lan Shang's figure disappeared instantly, and the terrifying murderous intent gathered directly towards the man. With a bang, the man's body flew backwards. If Lan Shang hadn't been merciful, I believe the man would have died. Tang Xiaotian's eyes suddenly condensed, and he personally attacked Su Chen. In order to avenge his son, he no longer cared about anything else, even his face. Boom boom boom. Tang Xiaotian was suppressed by Lan Shang and punched out. Tang Xiaotian came back faster and went back faster. He exclaimed, 9 flowers gathering cauldron, you have actually reached the 9 flowers gathering cauldron. Above the concentration realm is the Juding realm. The Juding realm is different from the previous realms. It is not divided into 3 realms. Instead, it condenses flowers in the soul. 1 flower, 1 world. It is divided into 1 flower, 2 flowers and 3 flowers. Until the 9 flowers, and finally the so-called 9 flowers gathering cauldron. As the leader of the Tang clan, Tang Xiaotian had only just gathered the 7 flowers, but he never thought that Lan Shang had already reached the 9 flowers gathering cauldron. Qin Zhu was also shocked. He knew very well what the 9 flowers gathering cauldron meant. In the entire eastern wasteland, the 9 flowers gathering cauldron was the pinnacle existence. Chief Tang, please respect yourself. This is Donghuang College, not your Tang clan. If you dare to take action again, I will kill all of you. Staring at Lan Shang in front of him, Tang Xiaotian didn't have the slightest doubt. Others might not dare, but Lan Shang certainly did. After all, the foundation of Donghuang College lay there. In Donghuang, no force dares to provoke Donghuang College. The two of them sat back respectively, staring at the young man in front of them with indifferent eyes. Tang Xiaotian suppressed the endless murderous intention in his heart and said coldly, even if it is a life and death contract, you should not destroy his blood wheel. The blood wheel is very important to a warrior. That's the root of it. He has committed a crime himself and cannot blame me. Tang Xiaotian nodded and said with great satisfaction, you are very arrogant. Unfortunately, your arrogance is only due to Donghuang Academy behind you. However, the academy cannot protect you for life. I hope you will never leave the academy for the rest of your life. Let's go. Tang Xiaotian never expected that Lan Shang would completely break up with the Tang clan because of a student. According to his previous thoughts, with the power of the Tang clan, and as a deterrent, Donghuang Academy would give the Tang clan some face. The result was a slap in the face. Tang clan chief, I won't send it off, Qin Zhu said coldly. Others may be afraid of the Tang clan, but Donghuang College is not afraid of it. What's more, the dean has broken through to the Nine Flowers Gathering Cauldron and looks down upon Donghuang College. Snort. Tang Xiaotian led everyone away quickly. From the beginning to the end, Su Chen did not interrupt, because with the academy in front of him, no matter what he said, it would be useless. If the college wants to protect you, the college will take action if you don't tell. If the college doesn't want to protect you, it won't protect you no matter how much you say. Donghuang College did not disappoint itself. Even when facing the Tang clan, the college did not take a step back, and even fought against the Tang clan's leader. Su Chen. Dean. You don't need to worry about the Tang clan's affairs. As long as you stay at Donghuang Academy for a day, the Tang clan will not be able to harm you. All you have to do is practice well. Clear. Go ahead. Yes. When Su Chen left, Qin Zhu said with a solemn expression, Brother Lan, this time our college and the Tang clan are at odds with each other. Do you think the Tang clan will make any small moves? Lan Shang smiled and shook his head and said, Tang Xiaotian is not a fool, and there is no way he would do anything to lose money. Then Su Chen. Keep an eye on him and keep him from leaving the academy. Good. Lan Shang shook his head speechlessly, but he vowed to protect Su Chen to the death. Now there is only a Tang clan, and there will be a Su clan in the future. Su Chen faces two top races at the same time. It may be too difficult for Su Chen to rise. Go back to dorms. Looking at Yan Meiyan waiting for someone outside the dormitory, Su Chen walked over quickly. Where did you go? If you have nothing to do, just wander around. I haven't been anywhere since I came to the academy. Yan Meiyan nodded and said, Have you heard about what happened in the Heavenly Tribulation Valley yesterday? The vision of heaven and earth came, and I was forcibly expelled from the Heavenly Tribulation Valley by the Dean. Regarding the matter of the Heavenly Tribulation Valley, Su Chen remained tight-lipped, because according to Yun Kongji, don't tell anyone about this matter. After all, a common man is not guilty of harboring a jade. Everyone understands the truth. There is no doubt that yesterday, due to the coming of heaven and earth visions, the college directly sealed off the Heavenly Tribulation Valley and expelled everyone in the Heavenly Tribulation Valley. She had already found out information about Su Chen, a student who had just entered the academy and was ranked the worst in the junior class and number 1 on the Hidden Dragon ranking. Did you break through? Smile a little, nodding, Su Chen said, I was lucky. I met some opportunities on the 34th step, so I advanced to the real elixir realm. He was very shocked. Yan Meiyan knew very well how long it would take to advance from the virtual Dan realm to the real Dan realm. Who would have thought that in just one day, Su Chen would have already broken through to the real Dan realm? Opportunities come to everyone, but one's own talent is even more important. Su Chen, since you have broken through to the real elixir realm, you can definitely enter the advanced class to practice. If you are willing, I can apply to the academy to allow you to enter the ace class as an exception. Before Su Chen could refuse, Yan Meiyan continued, if you continue to stay in the junior class, you will receive very few resources, which will affect your martial arts cultivation. What's more, only if you enter the ace class can you touch it. Some things that the beginner, intermediate and advanced classes cannot touch, do you understand? Su Chen understands Yan Meiyan's good intentions. With his cultivation level, he can definitely enter the advanced class, but he just wants to enter the ace class, but it is not possible. After all, if you want to enter the ace class, you must reach the golden elixir realm. Su Chen didn't know if Yan Meiyan could do such extraordinary things. He really didn't want to leave the worst junior class. Aren't you willing? Do you really just want to stay in the junior class for the rest of your life? Then I can tell you now that it means nothing for you to continue to stay in the academy, because with your talent, there is no need to stay in the academy. Yan Meiyan was a little angry. She had been busy from last night to now because of Su Chen's affairs. She just wanted Su Chen to enter the ace class to practice. Her cultivation has broken through to the physical and spiritual realm, and her teacher's level has also been improved. I believe Su Chen should be able to be admitted to the ace class. Okay. Okay, you wait for my news. Yan Meiyan couldn't help but be pleasantly surprised. That's how women are. As long as you get her, she will slowly begin to accept you, and Su Chen's talent and appearance are unique, and he will definitely rise to heaven in the future. Anyone can see his potential. Under the scorching sun, Su Chen summoned all the students from the worst junior class, Wang Qi, Lu Yu, Wan Nian, Yi Xianxian, Qiao Hong, Fang Qing, Fang Ju, Shi Xiaoman and Xing Yingxue. Junior Su, do you have something to do with us? Su Chen nodded and said with a smile, if nothing happens, I will soon be promoted to the ace class to practice. That's really great. I said with Junior Su's talent and potential, there is no way he can stay in the junior class. Junior Su, congratulations to you. A trace of uneasiness and inferiority flashed through Xing Yingxue's eyes. She knew very well that as Su Chen became better and better, the gap between her and Su Chen would become wider and wider. Chapter 44 Breaking the Universe, Fixing the Sky, regarded as the divine pattern of the beginning. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Mo Lin felt so happy. He was definitely not Su Chen's rival. If it weren't for his brother behind him, he would always have to suffer without daring to provoke him at all, but now, he dares to do this. What can he do if he relies on his brother? Who gave him an awesome big brother? Ignore the ridicule from the students around you, just be happy. Whether it is brother Mo Xuan or others, they are 100% sure that Su Chen will not dare to accept the challenge. A student in the junior class, even if he is ranked first on the Hidden Dragon ranking, cannot be the opponent of the students in the ace class. The difference in realm is too big. Accepting it is tantamount to humiliation. I believe Su Chen will not make such a low-level mistake casually. In everyone's shocked eyes, Su Chen nodded with satisfaction and said, since you want to challenge me, if I don't accept it, I'm afraid you will keep biting. Does Su Chen really want to accept the challenge? Is he crazy? Everyone looked at Su Chen, who agreed to the challenge, and thought that Su Chen was impulsive. After all, everyone would have a temper and explode after being so humiliated and provoked by Mo Lin. It's a pity that the current situation is a bit special. Mo Xuan comes from Ace Class 5 and is a dignified Jindan realm warrior. How can a junior class student be an opponent? Mo Xuan and Mo Lin both had happy expressions on their faces. This was what they wanted, and they wanted to take advantage of the challenge to teach this person a lesson. Very talented, I like your domineering attitude. Before Mo Xuan finished his nonsense, Su Chen suddenly said, you and I sign a life and death contract, engage in a life and death battle, and live and die according to our destiny. Do you dare to accept it? Hearing this, there was a chill in the surroundings. Everyone looked at Su Chen as if he were a fool, because no one expected that Su Chen not only accepted the challenge, but also proposed a life and death fight. Donghuang Academy has a clear rule that no death can occur at any time, no matter what the grudges are. Once you touch the bottom line of the college, no matter who you are, you will be sanctioned by the college. It is precisely because of this that there has never been a death in the college over the years, unless there is an abnormal situation, that is the so-called life and death battle. After all, people cannot always suppress their anger. Whenever two people have an irresolvable situation, they can sign a life and death contract and engage in a life and death battle. In this case, not even the academy will intervene. Mo Xuan was a little confused. A life and death battle. A student in the junior class actually wants to engage in a life and death battle with him. Even if he ranks first on the Hidden Dragon ranking, he cannot violate the rules of martial arts. Su Chen, you are not crazy. Mo Lin just wanted to teach Su Chen a lesson, not to kill him. The grudge between him and Su Chen was not a matter of life and death. If a dog wants to be a bitch, I can only accompany him. Don't you dare. A naked provocation. There were many students watching around, and Mo Xuan knew very well that if he did not accept the life-and-death battle, the news would soon spread, and he would definitely become the biggest joke of the academy. This was something he could not accept. "Boy, since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish at the right time and place." Su Chen immediately forced out a drop of blood essence and slowly floated to the middle of the two people. By now, everyone finally understood that Su Chen was not joking, but was serious, and really wanted to have a life-or-death battle with Mo Xuan from the ace class. Everyone was sighing, secretly sighing that Su Chen was really crazy, worthy of being called a madman. He was really a madman who was not afraid of anything. Things have come to this point, and Mo Xuan also knows that he cannot refuse, and at the same time he forces out a drop of blood essence. The two people's blood essences merge instantly, forming a special symbol pattern and disappearing. After signing a life-and-death contract, not even the academy will interfere in the affairs between the two. 3 days later, the stage of life and death. The academy has a life-and-death stage dedicated to life-and-death battles. "Okay, I'll wait for you. I hope you don't just talk. Let's go." Mo Xuan took Mo Lin and they left. Silence fell. Everyone looked at Su Chen, but no one was optimistic about it. After all, the gap between Su Chen and Mo Xuan was too big. One was from the junior class and the other was from the ace class. This kind of life-and-death battle has never happened in the long history of the college. Never happened. This is the first time ever. He did not stay any longer. He had successfully obtained the martial arts and was ready to return to the dormitory to practice the incomplete martial arts and see how to repair it. Inside the dormitory, "Ta Ling, can you help me repair this incomplete martial arts?" Su Chen believed that he could not repair the incomplete martial arts. His intuition told him that this soul martial arts was definitely not simple. If it could not be repaired, everything would be in vain. Ta Ling's voice sounded in his mind. "Master, the chaos swallowing technique you have practiced can repair your martial arts. It's just a matter of the repair process. Speed and speed depend on the master's level." I see." Without the slightest hesitation, Su Chen immediately sat cross-legged, running the chaos devouring technique in his body, wrapping the jade slip floating in front of him. Wave after wave of devouring breath completely wrapped up the incomplete information and entered his mind, and began to slowly repair it. Half an hour later, Su Chen felt the incomplete martial arts in his mind, and finally a glimmer of understanding appeared, and 4 illusory characters appeared. The divine pattern of the absolute beginning. Next. The voice from the eternal vastness slowly came out from the 4 words Taichu divine pattern and resounded throughout the mind. "Heaven and earth are the beginning, and the soul is the basis. All spirits are used to temper the condensation pattern, break the universe, and fix the sky. It is regarded as the divine pattern of the beginning." Waves of vast aura constantly hit the soul. Su Chen's painful face was instantly covered with beads of sweat. He gritted his teeth and persisted. He never expected that this soul martial arts would be so domineering. At the same time, 2 pieces of news came out of all the junior classes, completely blowing up the situation. They were all about Su Chen, the number 1 on the Qianlong ranking. Number 1 Su Chen accepted the challenge from Mo Xuan from Ace Class 5, and also signed a life-and-death contract to have a life-and-death battle on the life-and-death platform 3 days later. Secondly, Su Chen was promoted to the Ace Class 1 student by the academy. The 2 pieces of news completely shocked the junior class, including the intermediate class and the advanced class. Even the Ace class found it incredible. Forget the first news. In everyone's eyes, Su Chen's overestimation of his own capabilities will bring a devastating blow to himself. After all, it is completely foolish for a person from the junior class to defeat the students from the Ace class. There will be no suspense. This is the law of martial arts. No one can break this law. As for the second news, many people are dissatisfied, because according to the rules of the academy, if you want to become a student in the Ace class, the first condition is to break through to the Golden Elixir realm. Where is Su Chen? He is just a warrior in the Void Core realm. Not to mention being promoted to the Ace class, he is not qualified even for the advanced class. Many students are very unhappy and dissatisfied, but no one dares to say anything. Night falls. There was a knock on the door. Su Chen opened the door, looked at Xing Yingxue standing outside the door, and asked with a smile, "Why do you want to see me so late? Won't you invite me in? Please come in." Looking at Xing Yingxue with a worried face, Su Chen probably guessed the purpose of Xing Yingxue's coming. Sitting on the stone bench in the yard, Xing Yingxue looked at Su Chen in front of him and said helplessly, "Mo Xuan comes from Ace Class 5. Although his strength is at the bottom of Ace Class, his strength cannot be underestimated. As long as you don't want to, he can't." Before Xing Yingxue could finish what she said, Su Chen immediately waved his hand to stop it, and said with a smile, "The life and death contract has been signed, and I will definitely not be able to go back on it." "Don't you believe me?" Believe? How to believe it? Xing Yingxue was really afraid that something would happen to Su Chen, but she didn't dare to tell him that she liked him. Don't want to dwell on this issue. Of course Su Chen knew that Xing Yingxue was worried about him, but it was definitely impossible not to fight in a life and death battle. Instead, he said, "What level of cultivation do you want to be now?" "9th level foundation building realm." Oh. Su Chen was also a little surprised at Xing Yingxue's improvement speed at the 9th level of foundation building. He broke through 2 levels in such a short period of time. It seemed that he had underestimated the mutated blood will that Xing Yingxue had awakened. "Have you practiced the secret skills of the Xing tribe?" Su Chen knew very well that all powerful races had secret techniques to suppress the clan. He had already learned from other people that Xing Yingxue's status in the Xing clan was not low, but she was not popular because of her blood will waste. Now Xing Yingxue has awakened the mutated blood wheel. If she can practice the Xing clan's secret technique, I believe that the speed of practice will be twice the result with half the effort. Nodding, Xing Yingxue said helplessly, "Although I am not taken seriously by the Xing clan because of the matter of awakening the blood wheel, the Xing clan will still teach me the clan's secret techniques and martial arts. I have begun to practice. It is precisely because of this that I being able to break through 2 levels in such a short period of time." As if thinking of something, Xing Yingxue immediately said, "Junior Su, why don't I teach you the secret skills and martial arts?" Shaking his head, Su Chen refused directly and said, "No need." It's not that he's not interested, it's that he doesn't want to cause any trouble to Xing Yingxue. As the top race in the eastern wasteland, the Xing clan will definitely find the source once their secret skills and martial arts are leaked. There is no need to do so. Junior Su. Okay, let's not talk about this. Tell me about your affairs in the Xing clan. Xing Yingxue understood that Su Chen deliberately changed the topic. She had no choice but to nod and start talking about her affairs in the Xing clan. That was the last thing he wanted to mention and had never shared it with anyone. Su Chen is the first person, that's all. Under the cover of night, Su Chen listened quietly and never interrupted. Chapter 45 The Anger from Yan Meiyan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ace area. There are 5 Ace classes with more than 400 students. Among them, the students from Ace Class 1 were the most outstanding ones, with a total of 39 students, including Su Chen who had just turned 40. Except for the 7 students who were practicing in various places, the remaining 32 people were all summoned, because Teacher Yan would welcome every new student who arrived. What happened to Teacher Yan this time? He had to report to the college and admit a person from the junior class into the Ace class. It really brought down our Ace class. Well, there is indeed something fishy about this matter. In previous years, the number 1 in the Qianlong ranking was only able to enter the advanced class to practice, and it was still the lowest class. Unlike this time, he was directly promoted to the Ace class and was assigned to the Ace class. Class 1, if there's nothing fishy about this matter, I'll take the piss right away. Sure Kai, you can just eat rocks, why eat shit? Do you think this person is a relative of Teacher Yan? Sure Kai, shut up. I won't allow you to speak ill of Teacher Yan behind his back. Ji Yoshi walked over with a bit of anger on her face. Although she and Teacher Yan had a teacher-student relationship, they were the kind of best friends behind their backs. They were very close friends and couldn't bear to see others say anything about Teacher Yan's incompetence. Good, seeing Ji Yoshi, Sure Kai and others' eyes suddenly lit up. Ji Yoshi was hailed as one of the top 5 beauties in Donghuang College. Regardless of her talent, appearance, or identity, she was the object of every man's pursuit. Shi Kai said somewhat flatteringly, "Senior Sister Ji, I haven't congratulated you yet for successfully breaking through to the 8th level of the Golden Core realm in the Heavenly Tribulation Valley. According to this cultivation speed, I believe that within a year, Senior Sister Ji will be able to successfully advance to Nascent Soul Realm. Go to the Ace class to practice." There was some disgust on his face, but Ji Yoshi didn't answer. Somewhat embarrassing. Right now, Su Chen appeared in Ace Class 1. Chapter 46 Solve the Hidden Dangers of Blood Wheel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dare to be angry but dare not speak. Shi Kai glared at Su Chen fiercely. He would never have thought that his actions would arouse Teacher Yan's anger so much. Teacher Yan is usually very strict and will teach students a lesson, but like this time, direct emotion has never happened. When Shi Kai left, Yan Meiyan looked at everyone and said coldly, "I don't care how awesome your status is or how talented you are, just remember one thing, you can't even get into the Ace class. You are not the strongest ones in the academy will only bully their classmates, and your height will be limited no matter when." Teacher Yan, don't be angry, we took note of it. The relationship between Ji Yoshi and Yan Meiyan made him dare to stand up and try to persuade her. Nodding indifferently, Yan Meiyan came to Su Chen and said, "Let me introduce you to everyone. This is Su Chen. He comes from the junior class and ranks first on the Qianlong list. He has the Blood Will Sword and has reached the 4th level of Real Elixir Realm. Welcome Junior Su. Welcome." With the lessons learned just now, no one dares to ridicule or bully the newcomers anymore. No one wants to be relegated to the senior class. "Su Chen, come with me." Su Chen left with Yan Meiyan, and the others were a little confused. Wait until the two of them disappear completely. "Tell me, what happened to Teacher Yan today?" He was so angry that he demoted Shi Kai to the advanced class. "I have never seen Teacher Yan so angry. You know, the only thing I know is that Su Chen's origin is not simple, and Shi Kai was also unlucky and hit the knife's edge. Being able to break into the Ace class at the 4th level of Real Elixir Realm is considered a miracle of the Academy. Shu, do you want to die? Do you also want to follow in Shi Kai's footsteps?" Looking at the disappearing figure, Ji Yoshi frowned tightly. She always felt that her good friend and teacher seemed to be a completely different person today, and there must be something fishy in it, inside the office. "Don't take it personally." Su Chen hugged Yan Meiyan from behind and said with a helpless smile, "Why are you so angry today? I can solve this matter." Even when facing a 6th-level Golden Elixir realm, Su Chen still had absolute confidence that he could defeat the opponent. Yan Meiyan shook her head and said helplessly, "I went to apply for your special promotion to the Ace class. I originally thought I would be hindered, but I never expected that the Vice Dean directly agreed. As for today's matter, if we don't deter them, they will get worse in the future." Smelling the light freshness coming from Yan Meiyan's body, fragrant, Su Chen's heart gradually relaxed. For half an hour, neither of them moved, neither one wanted to break the tranquility. Yan Meiyan felt a little distressed. She understood that Su Chen must be a little tired. When Su Chen sat down, she sat directly on Su Chen's lap and asked, "I heard that you accepted Mo Xian's life and death challenge." Little things. Seeing that Su Chen was unwilling to talk about this matter, Yan Meiyan did not continue to mention it. She had absolute confidence in Su Chen. She believed that a person who could directly cross from the Void Pill Realm to the Real Pill Realm in just 2 days there should be some means. "How are you going to resolve the matter between you and Yushi?" Yan Meiyan has found out everything about Su Chen. Su Chen, from the Su family in Panyu City, was engaged to Princess Pandang Dynasty, her student Ji Yoshi. However, not long ago, news came out of Panyu City that Su Chen had been deprived of his blood wheel, and the royal family wanted to break off the engagement. But never thought that Su Chen could stand in the college intact. Back then, the Su family in Panyu City was in the limelight, because the Su family produced a peerless genius, Su Zhan, who was Su Chen's father, and was known as the strongest man in the eastern wasteland. Unfortunately, something happened later, and it is said that Su Zhan suffered a heavy setback. Unknown. I will break off the engagement myself. Without the slightest surprise, Yan Meiyan sighed deeply in her heart. As Su Chen's woman, she certainly didn't want to see her beloved marry another woman, and she regarded Ji Yoshi as a friend and didn't want to see Ji Yoshi find it difficult. Sister Yan, what happened in the heavenly tribulation valley before? I discovered that your magic fox blood will has some drawbacks. You can control it once, but if you fail the second or third time, the consequences will be disastrous. When the matter of the blood wheel was mentioned, Yan Meiyan's face was filled with helplessness. The charm fox's blood wheel is born with the power of charm, but this charm has an inherent flaw, that is, once it is suppressed by absolute power, the charm will backfire. I have thought of many ways but cannot completely eliminate this hidden danger. Faced with this hidden danger of his own blood chakra, Yan Meiyan was also worried. Sister Yan, I have a way to completely eliminate the hidden danger of your blood chakra. Really? What way? Yan Meiyan asked impatiently, because her blood chakra has been bothering her and must be solved as soon as possible, otherwise, there will be big trouble. Su Chen had an intriguing smile on his face. What's wrong? Sister Yan, this method is somewhat special. What? Su Chen mustered up the courage and said, don't think too much. I just want to cure your blood chakra. If you want to solve the hidden dangers of the evil fox's blood chakra, you and I need to work together. They are really helping each other sincerely, rather than trying to take advantage. The last time they were combined, Su Chen had already found a way, which was to use the chaos body in his body and the chaos devouring technique to help Sister Yan solve the hidden dangers of the blood wheel. It was 100% effective, the whole face turned red instantly. Yan Meiyan didn't seem to expect that Su Chen would say this. If it were anyone else, I believe he would have slapped him away. Staring at the face so close to her, Yan Meiyan nodded and said, I believe you. Anyway, they are both Su Chen's people. It doesn't matter whether they are married or not. Yan Meiyan is a very open-minded person. Now that they are together, whether intentional or unintentional, she will try her best to accept this relationship and be completely open to Su Chen. Instead of being pretentious, it's completely unnecessary. Holding Yan Meiyan's face, Su Chen slowly leaned forward and couldn't describe it, thinking about it on his own. Su Chen's exceptional promotion to the ace-class student completely shocked the entire academy. Even though it was reported that Su Chen had broken through to the 4th level of real elixir realm, it was still incredible. It is undeniable that Su Chen's talent was able to advance from the initial foundation building stage to the real pill stage in just 1 month. This speed of cultivation simply blinded everyone's eyes. What a terrifying cultivation talent and speed. Even so, if you want to advance to the ace class, you need to reach the golden elixir realm. It has never been heard of being promoted to the ace class at the real elixir realm. For 3 days, Su Chen never left Yan Meiyan's office, constantly helping Yan Meiyan eliminate the hidden dangers of the blood wheel, fighting one after another, which was a real effort. Except for the battle on the bed, Su Chen spent the rest of the time practicing various techniques and martial arts, especially the soul-capturing technique and the Taichu divine pattern. With the help of the chaos body, Su Chen has repaired the front part of the Taichu divine pattern and is fully able to practice. 3 days later, the hidden danger of Yan Meiyan's blood wheel was completely resolved. It took a full 30 rounds of fighting before it was resolved. Su Chen had put in a lot of effort. The next day, looking at herself in the mirror, Yan Meiyan found that her face was getting more and more rosy, and even she felt that she was more beautiful than before. She liked being with Su Chen very much. Touching her cheek, Yan Meiyan was preparing to go to the stage of life and death, because today was a life and death battle between Su Chen and Mo Xuan. There are 3 life and death platforms in the life and death martial arts training ground. They are prepared for students to sign life and death contracts if they have unresolved grievances. Once you sign a life and death contract and step onto the stage of life and death, there is no chance of going back on anything. Life and death are determined by destiny, and not even the academy will interfere. Today, there is a life and death battle. One is Mo Xuan from Ace Class 5, a first-level Jindan realm. One is Su Chen, who has just been promoted from the junior class to the ace class, and is in the 4th level of real elixir realm. The gap between the two was so big that no one was optimistic about Su Chen. They all believed that there would be no suspense in this battle and that Mo Xuan would definitely win. A large number of students poured into the life and death training ground, including students from the junior and intermediate classes, as well as students from the advanced class and the ace class. They all wanted to see who would win and who would lose in this battle. Even the vice dean is here. There are 8 vice presidents in the college, with Qin Zhu ranking first. No one expected that this life and death battle would lead to the arrival of the vice president. Vice President Qin manages all the affairs of the college, but for the life and death battle, no teachers or vice presidents have ever come here. Look at now, there are 4 vice presidents and dozens of teachers, as well as Yan. The teachers are all here. It seems that the college takes this life and death battle very seriously. I guess that Su Chen's identity is not simple. I went to inquire about it, but I couldn't find any information. Can't find out? How is it possible? So I said Su Chen is a little special. How could his identity not be found out? In order to protect Su Chen, the college directly blocked Su Chen's identity information. Yan Meiyan was able to successfully find out because he was a teacher at the college. Mo Xuan is here. Accompanied by Mo Lin and Mu Xuan, Mo Xuan walked into the life and death training ground. When he saw the teachers and deputy deans, he looked into the hearts of everyone. He did not expect that his life and death battle would attract the attention of senior officials. When he came to the life and death platform and saw the students standing around him, Mo Xuan was not worried at all. Even if Su Chen was in the 4th level of real elixir realm, he could not pose any threat to him. It was already past the scheduled battle time, and the entire life and death martial arts training ground began to become commotion. Do you think Su Chen doesn't dare to come? It's possible. After all, he is only in the real core realm. How could he defeat Mo Xuan in the golden core realm? He impulsively chose a life and death battle because he was humiliated and provoked. He will definitely regret it later. It's human nature not to come. Damn it, I thought I was in for a good show, but it turned out that the wait was in vain. Chapter 47. I give up. You win this battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Coming. Everyone looked at the young man who walked into the life and death martial arts training field from the outside inside. Su Chen is really here. He was really arrogant. He actually challenged Mo Xuan, who was at the golden core realm, with the real pill realm and took the initiative to propose a life and death battle. He was really arrogant to the extreme. Amidst the commotion, Su Chen stepped onto the stage of life and death, and all the surrounding students fell silent. Mo Xuan looked at the young man across from him with contempt written all over his face. He did not take Su Chen seriously at all, because the gap between the real elixir realm and the golden elixir realm was like an insurmountable gap that was almost impossible to cross. Once you get on the stage of life and death are up to me and not you. Now your life and death is in my hands. As long as you kneel down and admit your mistake, I can forget about it and cancel the life and death contract. Under the stage of life and death, Yan Meiyan frowned tightly. Although she believed in Su Chen's strength, she was still worried. After all, Mo Xuan was a genuine Jindan realm. On the contrary, Qin Zhu's face was relaxed, and he trusted this person unconditionally. Old Qin, why did you bring us here so early in the morning? There's no suspense in the life and death battle between 2 students. What's there to watch? That the other 3 vice presidents were full of dissatisfaction. They still had a lot of things to do, but they were forcibly pulled over by Qin Zhu. We'll see something good later. There was no sound, and Su Chen could only be seen moving his lips. Mo Xuan could clearly see that what Su Chen said was idiot. You wanna die? That the angry Mo Xuan carried unrivaled power and directly bombarded Su Chen fiercely. Boom! The attacks of the 2 collided fiercely on the stage of life and death, and they were not slaughtered as they imagined. In everyone's shocked eyes, Mo Xuan's body went away quickly and came back even faster. After taking dozens of steps back, Mo Xuan barely managed to gain a foothold. On the other hand, Su Chen stood where he was, as immobile as Mount Tai. It was clear who was stronger and who was weaker. Am I dazzled just now? Su Chen actually knocked back Mo Xuan with one move. I must have not slept well last night. How did he do it? No wonder he dared to take the initiative to challenge Mo Xuan to life and death. It turned out that he had something to rely on. Now there is something good to watch. Mo Xuan really shot himself in the foot this time. Mo Lin and Mu Xuanshuang were completely confused. They originally thought they could kill Su Chen completely this time. Anyway, they had a life and death agreement, and even the academy would not interfere in this matter. The result was that the eldest brother couldn't even resist one of Su Chen's moves. The most confused person is Mo Xuan, staring at the young man across from him. Mo Xuan could not accept this fact and directly released his blood chakra. The illusory figure of the two-headed wolf exuded cold murderous intent, and his cold eyes stared at the prey in front of him. Wolf Ji Zhan, that with a violent roar, Mo Xuan was like a whirlwind, directly bombarding Su Chen again. Strong fluctuations came from all around, but the surroundings of the life and death platform were covered by a gas shield, and the fluctuations of the two people's offensive could not spread at all. After all, both sides in a life and death battle will not hold back. Once innocent people are affected, it will be bad. The blood will condense in the sky above the head, and the illusory sword shadow exuded the cold sword intent. The sword energy scattered in all directions, and the sword roar directly covered the air shield and swept away. There was cold murderous intent in Su Chen's eyes. He was not a good person, he had always been a human being. If you don't offend me, I won't offend others. Mo Xuan, relying on his status as a Jindan realm student, humiliated himself wantonly and signed a life and death contract. In a life and death battle, he didn't need to show any mercy at all. The two-headed dragon and the sword collided fiercely in midair. The nine tribulations sword technique performed by Su Chen, combined with the sword blood wheel, sounded like thunder from the sky. The dense sword energy did not give Mo Xuan any chance to breathe. Mo Xuan was suppressed by such a domineering sword and blood wheel. If this situation continues, Mo Xuan will definitely lose. This person is really strong. There is no more contempt and ridicule. No matter where you go, you speak with your strength, and your fists decide everything. Unexpected promotion to the ace class caused many people's displeasure and dissatisfaction. But now Su Chen's strength tells everyone that he is qualified to enter the ace class. What can a person who can defeat a first-level Jindan realm student do, even if he is only at the real alchemy realm? He has changed the rules of martial arts. He couldn't even catch a sword. He was at the first level of the Golden Core realm. Now Mo Xuan could clearly feel the various ridicules coming from all around. His face was extremely gloomy, as ugly as he wanted. He originally thought that he could kill this person with the help of a life and death battle, but he never thought that this person was so powerful. Take my strongest move, double-head detonation. The double-headed detonation is not a true self-destruction, but a short burst of power to gain powerful power. This has a great backlash, but now, he can no longer care about so much. No matter what the price, he must kill this person. Save face, boom. Boom. The two heads detonated, and the two groups of terrifying forces attacked Su Chen from the left and right directions without any mercy, because in a life and death battle, it was either you or me who died. The death marks of gods and demons are condensed on both hands, and combined with the sword and blood wheel, they can cope with all changes with stability. Boom. The violent riot caused the entire life and death platform to tremble violently. With a scream like a slaughtered pig, Mo Xuan's body fell hard, blood stained all over his body, and his pale face showed no traces of blood. Color, his face was ashen. Even if he used his strongest attack, he was no match for Su Chen. In this battle, he was defeated completely. Seeing Su Chen walking towards him step by step, Mo Xuan had suppressed the fear in his heart. If it were at other times, he would definitely not be afraid. After all, the college has rules and no one can violate the rules, but now, the situation is completely different. They have signed a life and death contract and are engaged in a life and death battle. Even if there are deputy deans and teachers standing below, I believe they will not interfere in this matter. I regretted it very much, but I didn't even have a chance to regret it. His face was full of fear, because Mo Xuan was very afraid of death and believed that no one could ignore his own life and death. In the face of the life and death contract, he didn't even have the slightest chance. After retreating continuously, Mo Xuan said in horror, "Su Chen, I admit defeat. You win this battle. Give up." Everyone looked at what happened on the stage of life and death, and they were all sighing. The majestic Golden Core Realm Warrior from Ace Class 5 actually lost to the real Core Realm Warrior. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would believe it was true. It's embarrassing to admit defeat, but it's cheaper than losing your life. Mo Xuan can still settle this account clearly. Su Chen shook his head. If he lost this battle, would Mo Xuan let him go? The answer is no. Never show any mercy to your enemies. Coming. Everyone looked at the young man who walked into the life and death martial arts training field from the outside inside. Su Chen is really here. He was really arrogant. He actually challenged Mo Xuan, who was at the Golden Core Realm, with the real Pill Realm and took the initiative to propose a life and death battle. He was really arrogant to the extreme. Amidst the commotion, Su Chen stepped onto the stage of life and death, and all the surrounding students fell silent. Mo Xuan looked at the young man across from him with contempt written all over his face. He did not take Su Chen seriously at all, because the gap between the real Elixir Realm and the Golden Elixir Realm was like an insurmountable gap that was almost impossible to cross. Once you get on the stage of life and death are up to me and not you. Now your life and death is in my hands. As long as you kneel down and admit your mistake, I can forget about it and cancel the life and death contract. Under the stage of life and death, Yan Meiyan frowned tightly. Although she believed in Su Chen's strength, she was still worried. After all, Mo Xuan was a genuine Jindan realm. On the contrary, Qin Zhu's face was relaxed, and he trusted this person unconditionally. "Old Qin, why did you bring us here so early in the morning? There's no suspense in the life and death battle between two students. What's there to watch?" That the other three vice presidents were full of dissatisfaction. They still had a lot of things to do, but they were forcibly pulled over by Qin Zhu. "We'll see something good later." There was no sound, and Su Chen could only be seen moving his lips. Mo Xuan could clearly see that what Su Chen said was idiot. "You wanna die?" That the angry Mo Xuan carried unrivaled power and directly bombarded Su Chen fiercely. Boom. The attacks of the two collided fiercely on the stage of life and death, and they were not slaughtered as they imagined. In everyone's shocked eyes, Mo Xuan's body went away quickly and came back even faster. After taking dozens of steps back, Mo Xuan barely managed to gain a foothold. On the other hand, Su Chen stood where he was, as immobile as Mount Tai. It was clear who was stronger and who was weaker. "Am I dazzled just now?" Su Chen actually knocked back Mo Xuan with one move. "I must have not slept well last night. How did he do it?" No wonder he dared to take the initiative to challenge Mo Xuan to life and death. It turned out that he had something to rely on. Now there is something good to see. Mo Xuan really shot himself in the foot this time. Mo Lin and Mu Shuangshuang were completely confused. They originally thought they could kill Su Chen completely this time. Anyway, they had a life and death agreement, and even the academy would not interfere in this matter. The result was that the eldest brother couldn't even resist one of Su Chen's moves. The most confused person is Mo Xuan, staring at the young man across from him. Mo Xuan could not accept this fact and directly released his blood chakra. The illusory figure of the two-headed wolf exuded cold murderous intent, and his cold eyes stared at the prey in front of him. Wolf Ji Zhan, that with a violent roar, Mo Xuan was like a whirlwind, directly bombarding Su Chen again. Strong fluctuations came from all around, but the surroundings of the life and death platform were covered by a gas shield, and the fluctuations of the two people's offensive could not spread at all. After all, both sides in a life and death battle will not hold back. Once innocent people are affected, it will be bad. The blood will condense in the sky above the head, and the illusory sword shadow exuded the cold sword intent. The sword energy scattered in all directions, and the sword roar directly covered the air shield and swept away. There was cold murderous intent in Su Chen's eyes. He was not a good person, he had always been a human being. If you don't offend me, I won't offend others. Mo Xuan, relying on his status as a Jindan realm student, humiliated himself wantonly and signed a life-and-death contract. In a life-and-death battle, he didn't need to show any mercy at all. The two-headed dragon and the sword collided fiercely in midair. The Nine Tribulations sword technique performed by Su Chen, combined with the sword blood wheel, sounded like thunder from the sky. The dense sword energy did not give Mo Xuan any chance to breathe. Mo Xuan was suppressed by such a domineering sword and blood wheel. If this situation continues, Mo Xuan will definitely lose. This person is really strong. There is no more contempt and ridicule. No matter where you go, you speak with your strength, and your fists decide everything. Unexpected promotion to the ace class caused many people's displeasure and dissatisfaction. But now Su Chen's strength tells everyone that he is qualified to enter the ace class. What can a person who can defeat a first-level Jindan realm student do, even if he is only at the real alchemy realm? He has changed the rules of martial arts, he couldn't even catch a sword. He was at the first level of the Golden Core realm. Now Mo Xuan could clearly feel the various ridicules coming from all around. His face was extremely gloomy, as ugly as he wanted. He originally thought that he could kill this person with the help of a life-and-death battle, but he never thought that this person was so powerful. Take my strongest move, double-head detonation. The double-headed detonation is not a true self-destruction, but a short burst of power to gain powerful power. This has a great backlash, but now, he can no longer care about so much. No matter what the price, he must kill this person. Save face, boom. Boom. The two heads detonated, and the two groups of terrifying forces attacked Su Chen from the left and right directions without any mercy, because in a life-and-death battle, it was either you or me. The death marks of gods and demons are condensed on both hands, and combined with the sword and blood wheel, they can cope with all changes with stability. Boom. The violent riot caused the entire life-and-death platform to tremble violently. With a scream like a slaughtered pig, Mo Xuan's body fell hard, blood stained all over his body, and his pale face showed no traces of blood. Color, his face was ashen. Even if he used his strongest attack, he was no match for Su Chen. In this battle, he was defeated completely. Seeing Su Chen walking towards him step by step, Mo Xuan had suppressed the fear in his heart. If it were at other times, he would definitely not be afraid. After all, the academy has rules and no one can violate the rules, but now, the situation is completely different. They have signed a life-and-death contract and are engaged in a life-and-death battle. Even if there are deputy deans and teachers standing below, I believe they will not interfere in this matter. I regretted it very much, but I didn't even have a chance to regret it. His face was full of fear, because Mo Xuan was very afraid of death and believed that no one could ignore his own life and death. In the face of the life-and-death contract, he didn't even have the slightest chance. After retreating continuously, Mo Xuan said in horror, "Su Chen, I admit defeat. You win this battle. Give up." Everyone looked at what happened on the stage of life and death, and they were all sighing. The majestic Golden Core Realm Warrior from Ace Class 5 actually lost to the real Core Realm Warrior. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would believe it was true. It's embarrassing to admit defeat, but it's cheaper than losing your life. Mo Xuan can still settle this account clearly. Su Chen shook his head. If he lost this battle, would Mo Xuan let him go? The answer is no. Never show any mercy to your enemies. Chapter 48 Killing Mo Xuan, the autumn hunting begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feeling the killing intent covering his whole body, Mo Xuan's face was full of horror. He has already admitted defeat. There is no life or death grudge between the two of them, and there is no need to eradicate it. Referring to the sword, the domineering sword energy penetrated Mo Xuan's eyebrows in everyone's shocked eyes. His eyes widened. Until the moment when his body fell, he did not think that he would be defeated. Thump. The body fell hard on the stage of life and death. The whole place was silent. Zhen Luo heard the sound, and everyone looked at what happened on the stage of life and death in shock. No one could have imagined that Su Chen really killed Mo Xuan. Mo Xuan fell, Su Chen won. Seeing the figure leaving the life and death martial arts training field, I instantly became excited. There were exclamations, sighs, and disbelieving sounds everywhere. "Qin, are you interested in this son?" Qin Zhu nodded, smiled and said, "What do you think? With extraordinary talent and unlimited potential, this child will definitely not be a thing in the pond. He will soar into the sky and soar into the sky in the future." Ha 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 ha. Qin Zhu laughed loudly. He had indeed fallen in love with Su Chen. Over the years, he had never loved any disciple. This time he was sincere. The matter of life and death battle seems to have wings and fly all over the academy. A student at the real elixir level who was promoted to Ace Academy through an exception, killed Mo Xuan, a first-level golden elixir level student from Ace Class 5, and Su Chen's name resounded throughout the academy. Su Chen returned to the dormitory and immediately entered the cultivation state without wasting time. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Su Chen suddenly received a summons from Yan Meiyan and went to the martial arts training ground to gather. In the huge martial arts training ground, unless there are students who cannot make it under special circumstances, more than 400 Jindan realm students are all present. Among them, almost none of the top 100 students on the 100 battle ranking are left behind. A total of 20 teachers stood in front of all the students, all with serious faces. The autumn hunt has begun. I heard that Vice President Qin will personally lead the team this time. Real or fake? Of course it's true. Vice President Qin's cultivation has reached a high level of concentration. I didn't expect that he would personally take us to the Lost Forest this time. It seems that the college attaches great importance to us. Nonsense. Standing at the last one in the crowd, Su Chen already knew the purpose of summoning them this time. It turns out that every autumn, the academy summons all the students from the 5 ace classes to go to the Forsaken Forest to hunt monsters. The beast elixirs obtained can be exchanged for points. The vice president is here. Qin Zhu walked into the martial arts training ground, looked at the 400 students in front of him, and said with a smile, "I believe everyone already knows what's going on. Yes, the annual autumn hunting has begun again. This time our goal is still the Lost Forest. The Forgotten Forest is one of the largest forests in the eastern wasteland. There are various dangers in it. Even the academy cannot guarantee your absolute safety. If anyone gives up, leave the training ground immediately." No one left. They all want to go to the Forsaken Forest and hunt monsters. On the one hand, he hunts monster beasts to experience himself, and on the other hand, he takes in beast elixirs in exchange for points. Seeing that no one chose to give up, Qin Zhu nodded with satisfaction and said, "Everyone, get ready, we will set off in an hour." Yes. Just when Su Chen was about to leave, he was stopped by Qin Zhu. "The vice dean has something to do with me." Qin Zhu nodded and said with a smile, "You can't go to the Lost Forest this time. As for the reason, you should know better than me. However, the academy will not force you. It is up to you to decide what you plan to do." Su Chen understood what Qin Zhu meant. He destroyed Tang Hao's blood will, which made the Tang clan furious, and he would definitely not give up. In the academy, with the threat of Donghuang College, the Tang clan did not dare to take action. Once he left the academy, it would be another matter. He went to the Forsaken Forest. Once the Tang people got the news, they knew what would happen. Anyone else would never dare to leave the academy. Su Chen nodded and said, "I will go to the Forgotten Forest." If he was afraid of the Tang clan, he would not destroy Tang Hao's blood wheel, and no one could stop him. Very satisfied, as if he had already guessed what Su Chen would say, Qin Zhu smiled and said, "In the Lost Forest, if the monster beast pills you hunted rank among the top 3, I will give you a surprise." "Thank you, Vice President. Go ahead and get ready." Kindness. The more he looked at it, the more he liked it. Qin Zhu was very satisfied with Su Chen and wanted to accept him as his disciple immediately. However, as the deputy dean of the college, he always had to show off and show off. An hour later, in the huge empty courtyard, there are golden eagles. There are hundreds of densely packed golden eagles. They are the flying monsters raised by the academy. Everyone is counted, and every 4 people will ride on a Jin Kuei eagle. Su Chen didn't move until everyone got on the Jin Kuei Diao. You come with me. Following Yan Meiyan, Jin Quidio was alone. This was what Yan Meiyan had told him before. Golden eagles soared into the sky, straight into the sky, and disappeared in an instant, lost in the academy. Junior class dormitory, Xing Yingshue's face was full of helplessness. She had already received the news that Su Chen was following the ace class to the Lost Forest, but she had no way to follow him, aside showing helplessness. Tang clan, as one of the top races in the eastern wasteland, the strength and heritage of the Tang clan cannot be underestimated. Tang Xiaotian, who returned from Donghuang College, was very angry. The more he thought about it, the more unwilling he became, but he did not dare to start a war with Donghuang College. First of all, Donghuang College itself is extremely powerful. Dean Lan Shang has even reached the 9 Flowers Gathering Cauldron. Looking at the entire Tang clan, no one is Lan Shang's rival. Secondly, over the past 10,000 years, there have been too many strong men coming out of Donghuang College. Once a life-and-death battle begins with Donghuang College, no one knows whether some top strong men will emerge. The person he wanted to kill was just Su Chen to avenge his son, but he didn't want to anger Donghuang College. Reporting to the clan leader, news just came from Donghuang College that all the students of the 5 king levels have left Donghuang College and went to the Forsaken Forest for autumn hunting. Oh, his eyes suddenly lit up, and the opportunity finally came. He couldn't take action in Donghuang College. Once Su Chen left Donghuang College, then it would be his chance. How could Tang Xiaotian choose to give up such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for revenge so easily? Summon all the elders immediately to discuss matters. Yes. With his fists clenched tightly, Tang Xiaotian's eyes became colder and colder, and the cold murderous intent surged out like a tsunami, instantly covering the entire hall. Su Chen, there is a road to heaven but you don't take it. There is no door to hell. You break in. You hide in Donghuang Academy. Maybe I can't do anything to you, but now, I will let you never return and die in the abandoned forest. Chapter 49. From now on, you and I have nothing to do with each other. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Void, on Jin Quidio's back, Su Chen hugged Yan Meiyan and sat quietly, feeling the strong wind blowing against his face. However, the two of them did not have any air shield to defend themselves, allowing the strong wind to blow on them. Brother Su, we are about to arrive at the Forsaken Forest. I will tell you the rules now. Good. Su Chen is also looking forward to the experience in the Lost Forest. In his opinion, for warriors, only through constant life and death experience can they break through their own limits. First of all, any of our teachers are not allowed to participate in students hunting monsters, unless there is irresistible danger, so we will watch you secretly. Secondly, there must not be any casualties among the students, and they can form teams. Su Chen nodded and said with a smile, I like to be alone. There was no surprise at all. Yan Meiyan seemed to have guessed that Su Di would be like this and didn't say anything more. Some people like to be alone, and some like to work in groups. Without wasting time, both of them entered into practice. Forgotten Forest. It is located in the east of the East Wasteland and is known as the Forgotten Land by the East Wasteland. The monsters inside are particularly powerful. Even at the same level, no warrior is a match for the monsters. The loud chirping of the eagle echoed through the void. Hundreds of golden eagles landed steadily at the entrance of the forest. All the students lowered their backs and looked at the forest in front of them, their eyes filled with anticipation. Among the more than 400 students, about 80% have already been to the Forsaken Forest, and some have even been here several times. Qin Zhu didn't know where he went. One of the teachers looked at everyone in front of him and said with a serious face, I will give you 5 minutes to form a team. Those who are willing to hunt alone can enter the Forgotten Forest now for 1 month. Call out. Call out. Call out. As soon as he finished speaking, one student after another quickly headed towards the Forgotten Forest, walking half of the way. The remaining people wanted to form a team. After all, the Forgotten Forest was full of dangers. and forming a team would be even more difficult. Be safer. Yan Meiyan was very worried about Su Chen and kept pulling Su Chen to explain the various crises in the abandoned forest. Look, Teacher Yan is holding Su Chen's hand. Yan Meiyan, the most beautiful teacher in Dongguan College, is usually serious and aloof, and does not give any man a good look, handle. Never had. This was the first time I saw Yan Meiyan holding a student's hand. Stop talking nonsense. We can wait until we return to the academy to inquire about these gossips. Hurry up and find a few more people to form a team, so as not to be unable to deal with danger when we enter the Forgotten Forest. Ji Yoshi did not form a team or enter the Forgotten Forest, came to Su Chen and Yan Meiyan. Seeing the two of them holding hands and frowning tightly, she knew most clearly about her best friend's relationship status. She definitely didn't have anyone she loved. What explains the current behavior? Sister Yan. Yushi, do you have anything to do with me? Behind her back, Ji Yoshi kept calling Yan Meiyan Sister Yan. Nodding, Ji Yoshi pointed at Su Chen beside him and said, I want to team up with him and enter the Forgotten Forest together. Hearing Ji Yoshi's words, both Su Chen and Yan Meiyan were a little surprised. I'll go first. Well, be careful. Looking at Su Chen, who ignored her and headed to the Lost Forest alone, Ji Yoshi's eyes suddenly lit up. She never expected that she would actually. But was rejected. She is definitely considered a top beauty in Dongguan Academy. She is superior in terms of appearance, talent, and family background. She has never been so proactive. People are pursuing her everywhere, and she has never accepted anyone. Seeing that Su Chen was very special, she wanted to form a team with Su Chen. In her opinion, Su Chen would definitely not reject her, but the result was just the opposite. Sister Yushi, with all due respect, you and him are not suitable. Sister Yan, I'm not chasing her. It's not about whether she's suitable or not. With a deep sigh in her heart, Yan Meiyan did not tell Ji Yoshi about Su Chen's true identity. As for the matter between the two, it still needed Su Chen and Ji Yoshi to resolve it, and she was not suitable to intervene. Sister Yan, I'm going in too. Be careful. Clear. Ji Yoshi was very angry. She did not expect that her first initiative would be rejected, and she was somewhat embarrassed about her face. The dense forest is covered by towering trees, and the sunlight can only be reflected through the gaps. Su Chen was very fast, just like a cheetah constantly shuttling back and forth. Hunting animals was the second priority. The main purpose of coming to the Lost Forest this time was to continuously break through his own limits with the help of experience. It would be best if one could successfully break through to the Golden Core realm before leaving the Forgotten Forest. Su Chen, stop right here. Listening to the voice coming from behind, Su Chen frowned and turned around. There was deep disgust in his cold eyes, and anyone could see it. Seeing the disgusted expression on Su Chen's face, Ji Yoshi became angrier and aggrieved as she thought about it. She did not deny that she did have a crush on Su Chen, but she was ignored again and again. Just tell me if you have anything to say. The voice was very cold, and Su Chen was very impatient. Bother. I just want to form a team with you. Why do you reject me thousands of miles away? Do you really hate me that much? That she really wanted to know why Su Chen had such an attitude towards her. There are more than 400 people, so what do you want from me? I just love teaming up with you. He was very impatient. After all, Chiu Lai only had half a month. Every minute he wasted was a minute lost. He took out the marriage certificate directly from the space ring and said coldly, "This is the marriage certificate between you and me. Since your royal family wants to terminate the engagement, I will make it happen for you." Completely confused Su Chen. It turned out that the Su Chen in front of her was Su Chen from the Su family and her fiancé. No wonder he was so indifferent to her. Everything became clear instantly. Before Ji Yoshi could react, the marriage certificate in Su Chen's hand had already burned and instantly turned into ashes and fell to the ground in the wind. "What you do?" With a cry of surprise and looking at her whole body being burned, Ji Yoshi stepped back repeatedly, her face filled with sluggishness. If she had done it before, she would definitely have been willing to see this happen. After all, Su Chen has lost his blood wheel. At most, he can rely on the Su family to live a better life than ordinary people. It is already a dream to continue to build the foundation, let alone break through to a higher martial arts realm. Now, things are completely different. Su Chen's talents were astonishing and she was outstanding in everything. The most important thing was that because she was ignored by Su Chen for the first time in the Heavenly Tribulation Valley, Su Chen's figure was in her heart. She indeed regretted it, and she should stop the royal family from regretting the engagement. She sighed deeply in her heart and said, Su Chen, it was not my intention to break off the engagement. Waving his hands impatiently, Su Chen said disgustedly, it doesn't matter whether you meant it or not. The marriage certificate has been burned. From now on, you and I have nothing to do with each other. Say goodbye. Chapter 50 Purple Fox leaves and enters the tomb. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Watching the figure gradually disappear, Ji Yoshi took 3 steps back, her face full of regret. She should have stopped the royal family from regretting the marriage before, but now it was too late to regret it. Regardless of whether she was willing to admit it or not, Ji Yoshi knew very well that she fell in love with Su Chen at first sight. Can't hide the love in my heart. Looking at the marriage certificate that turned into ashes, Ji Yoshi slowly picked it up from the ground and put it into the space ring. After leaving, Su Chen began to target the monsters. Purple Fox. The purple fox in his arms disappeared. On the way here, Zihu was still sleeping. Why did he suddenly disappear? Very anxious, Su Chen sighed deeply. The most likely possibility is that Zihu's injury has stabilized and started to improve, but he chose to leave. That's ungrateful. Su Chen did not continue to dwell on the matter. It was going to rain and the mother was getting married, so he could not stop Zihu from leaving. Shenbingxue, looking at a figure that flashed quickly not far away, Su Chen sneered. Shenbingxue challenged him before, but he did not agree. But now he is fully confident that he can successfully kill Shenbingxue. Qiu Lai does not allow students to fight each other, saying it is one thing, doing it is another. Su Chen understands one truth, that is, one must always be ruthless and decisive in dealing with enemies, and there must be no trace of kindness or mercy. Su Chen followed directly. Whether you are a good person or a bad person, you need to look at problems from different perspectives. Night falls. The dark void is dotted with stars and covered with thousands of miles of clouds. Originally following Shenbingxue, I wanted to find a chance to kill Shenbingxue, but I never thought that there was a person in front of me. A huge lake surrounded by dense forests on all sides, hundreds of warriors gathered here, all staring at the lake in front of them, including Shenbingxue. Third uncle, is the news reliable? Shenhua nodded and said, look, there are as many as 2,000 people here. They all come for the tomb. The news has not spread, so there are not many people coming. When she came to the Forsaken Forest, she received news from her family that a tomb had appeared in the Forsaken Forest. As for what treasures there were, it was still unknown. Everyone is looking forward to it. Hey, do you think the tomb recorded on the map is real? I've been waiting for 12 days. I'm really unlucky. You have only been waiting for 12 days. I have been waiting for 15 days, and there is still no movement in the lake. Is there someone playing a prank? If the tomb really exists, how could only 2,000 people come? I can't wait any longer. Some people couldn't bear it anymore and chose to leave. Su Chen looked at the calm lake and didn't know about the so-called tomb palace. Shenbingxue has strong men sitting beside her. If she wants to kill Shenbingxue, it may not be that simple. Look, there's movement in the lake. In everyone's surprised eyes, the entire lake began to ripple, began to gather together to form a tornado, and a space stone gate gradually appeared. Entrance to the tomb. Greed was written all over their faces, because no one knew whether the tomb was real or fake. Otherwise, it would not have been possible for only more than 2,000 warriors to come, fighting. Most people still think the news is false, but who would have thought that the news is true? Looking at the space stone gate, without the slightest hesitation, the warriors quickly moved towards the space stone gate and disappeared into the space stone gate in an instant. Including Shenhua, Shenbingxue and others also chose to enter. When everyone entered the space stone gate, Su Chen slowly walked out, looking at the lake in front of him, wondering whether to enter or not. I want to see what opportunities there are. Taking one step forward, Su Chen's figure instantly disappeared from the stone door of space. The moment he entered the space stone gate, Su Chen immediately felt dizzy, as if he was about to vomit. He instantly understood that the stone gate was a small space teleportation array, and it was unknown where he would be teleported. In just a few seconds, the dizziness in Su Chen's mind had completely disappeared. Looking at the gray cave space around him, the heavy atmosphere made people feel suffocated. Su Chen, more than 2,000 warriors were all teleported to the underground space. Shen Bingxue saw Su Chen at the first sight and seemed not to have expected that she would meet Su Chen here. You know him? Shen Bingxue nodded and said, he is a student of the academy. Didn't you take action against yourself? This was beyond Su Chen's expectation, because based on the grievances between them, since there were experts around him, they would definitely take action against him and kill him here. As long as the news was not transmitted back to the academy, there would be no problem at all. As if he could guess what Su Chen was thinking, Shen Bingxue walked over and said in a cold voice, Su Chen, you don't need to worry that I will use the power of the family to deal with you. It's normal for us students to have grudges, but it's not necessary. It's a matter of life and death, not to mention this is the Forsaken Forest. I will abide by the college rules. Shen Bingxue's attitude really surprised Su Chen. He was indeed overthinking what happened this time. I don't care how you found this place, for the sake of you and me both coming from Dongguan College, I want to remind you that according to rumors, this is a tomb, and there are inheritances and opportunities for strong people in it. However, there will also be crises. If you are willing, you can follow me. Thank you, I don't have to watch anymore. Deny yourself. Shen Bingxue snorted lightly and said nothing more. Returning to Shenhua, everyone looked at the gray underground space around them. Their eyes were solemn, but they contained greed and expectation. Yan Meiyan didn't pay attention to the others and kept following Su Chen. However, Su Chen's speed was too fast, and she actually showed some signs of losing track. According to the rules of the academy, no teacher is allowed to interfere during the students' autumn hunting. She will not break the rules of the academy for her own personal feelings. Followed from a far distance, watching Su Chen suddenly disappear, and Yan Meiyan's figure instantly appeared in the lake, but the space stone gate would only last for 3 minutes. By the time Yan Meiyan arrived, the space stone gate had disappeared. I blame myself very much. Yan Meiyan is very aware of the danger of being lost in the forest. She must not let anything happen to Su Chen. If she is following her and encounters danger, she can still take action. Once she is lost, she has no way to decide whether Su Chen lives or dies. Or so, how not to feel worried. His eyes were very solemn. Because the distance was too far, Yan Meiyan could only detect the aura of the warriors. He didn't know why so many warriors, including Su Chen, suddenly disappeared. Brother Su, I will definitely find you.